For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University.
Boy, Monday they got through tons of articles.
Took me a minute to figure out how to work that pen. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Got it. That's hilarious.
The time is 10 a.m.
Thank you for tuning into the Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service. My name is Kelly, and my name is Michael, and I'm here with Kelly. We invite you to listen to our broadcast both live and on demand. Our live sessions are available on the Blind Community Thrift Store YouTube channel Monday to Friday between 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. each week. Additionally, you can access on-demand content through the Audio Reader Network, which offers a wide range of audio materials for the visually impaired community. To explore content from the Audio Reader Network, please visit www.reader.ku.edu. This site provides details about accessing content via Amazon, Alexa, Audio Reader Network mobile app, and information on receiving a radio to listen to the broadcast on KSMU radio. All broadcasts are played over KSMU's subcarrier airwaves at 67 kilohertz on 91.1 from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Contact Audio Reader Network for information on receiving a pre-programmed radio.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and kick it off with an article from the Springfield News-Leader posted today. Petition challenging East Springfield housing development falls short by Marta Mies of the Springfield News-Leader. Some key points from this article. Springfield City Council approved a controversial rezoning for a mixed housing development. Also, nearby residents organized a referendum petition to appeal the decision but failed to gather enough signatures. Many residents impacted by the development live outside city limits and were ineligible to sign or circulate the petition. The article reads, a proposed development on the eastern edge of Springfield drew large crowds at public hearings this fall, but when neighbors tried to petition to appeal the decision to rezone the property, they fell short of the required amount. A significant obstacle when gathering signatures was the fact that most of those immediately impacted by the proposal live outside of city limits. In early November, Springfield City Council approved rezoning of 48 acres at 3830 East Division Street, giving the go-ahead for a mixed housing development that included 10 three-story apartment buildings. The rezoning case drew hours of neighbor testimony as nearby property owners filled public hearing rooms to capacity in opposition to the large-scale development. After Council's passage of the ordinance, a 30-day clock started ticking for a referendum petition to be submitted to appeal the legislation passed. That's when Jessica Ingram and her fellow neighbors organized to gather signatures. The city clerk's office received a referendum petition on December the 3rd that contained 1,034 signatures. According to City Clerk Anita Cotter, for the petition to be considered sufficient, the referendum would have to have included 1,499 signatures. The required number of signatures is based on 10% of the total number of persons voting in the last general municipal election in April per the city charter. Only the signatures of voters registered to vote in the city are counted. The property subject to rezoning and development was annexed into the city earlier this year. Residents of subdivisions south and east of the property remain outside of city limits. Several of the residents who spoke against the proposal came from those subdivisions, including Winsmore, Bristol Park, and Hickory Valley. I think the most frustrating part of this whole process is that, aside from Cooper Estates, the majority of the neighborhoods that would be affected lie outside of city limits, Ingram said. We are not allowed, obviously being outside of the city, to vote for who we want to represent us on council, yet ultimately, City Council had a final vote to determine something that affects something that's 25 feet from my door. She said it was also difficult to organize the process of gathering signatures, as those residing outside the city also cannot circulate or gather signatures themselves for a city referendum. Ingram recounted finding family and friends who would be willing to take on the task and set up large events like the Turkey Trot or the Mayor's Tree Lighting to have a higher level of exposure. I'm someone that's impacted, It impacts my property value. It impacts my quality of life. It impacts, just overall neighborhood character. Yet I'm not allowed to sign something, and I'm also not allowed to circulate something, she said. It's an unfair fight. When council was voting on the rezoning in November, neighbors were successful in gathering enough signatures for a protest petition, which requires a supermajority vote of city council for passage. Protest petitions differ from referendums as they do not take into account voter registration status and instead require signatures from at least 10% of property owners within 185 feet of the property in question. While insufficient, the certification of the referendum petition will be presented to Council at its meeting on Monday, December 15th. Marta Mees covers local government at the News-Leader. If you have feedback, tips, or story ideas, contact her at mmieze@news-leader.com.
This article's from the SBJ. Council hears MoDOT plans for medians on East Sunshine. The Missouri Department of Transportation has a plan to improve safety on East Sunshine Street, but an organized group of business owners and public officials expressed concerns about it at yesterday's Springfield Council City Luncheon. Thing is, Council is not the decision-making body empowered either to greenlight or halt the plan, which would erect medians and limit left turns on a section of road extending east from Glenstone Avenue to Blackman Road, part of a 4.3-mile project area extending east to Farm Road 199. The plan would also eliminate, it jumped on me, hang on just a second. Part of a 4.3-mile project area extending east to Farm Road 199. The plan would also eliminate some driveways to businesses that have more than one. Sunshine Street is a state highway and therefore MoDOT's bailiwick. Among 172 U.S. cities with more than 150,000 residents, Springfield ranks 14th in terms of its fatality rate according to National Highway Traffic Safety Administration data from 2023. MoDOT wants to address the issue head-on by limiting left turns by installing raised medians in 4 locations on the route, amounting to 3/4 of a mile or 18% of the corridor. We have no direct role in this, but MoDOT has asked us to gut check, said Mayor Jeff Schrag. They don't need our permission. Council member Monica Horton asked if a resolution would be forthcoming for the decision-making body. I appreciate the update, but I'm not sure that City Council has a role. It sounds like this is a role for the state, she said. Schrag acknowledged that Council's role was an odd one. If our gut is to ask them not to do this, we could choose to make that decision, but we don't have a role in the decision, Schrag said. Councilmember Callie Carroll asked if the plan was all or nothing. For instance, she wondered if improvements could be made in phases, for installing the medians until a later phase after assessing the impact of other changes. Our intent is to deliver it as one project, said Christy Bachman, MoDOT's project manager for the corridor. I think the concern that we have is not getting the safety benefit that we need on Sunshine Street, and anything that we do less than what we've proposed, we will not achieve that goal. The plan introduced to Council yesterday reflects changes requested by members of the business community on East Sunshine Street. The city's investment in the project would be about $200,000, according to Brett Foster, Assistant Director of Public Works. Those funds would be used for aesthetic work such as stamped concrete in the medians and to correct some gaps in the sidewalk system. MoDOT would fund the bulk of the improvements to the corridor at a cost of $11.2 million, a figure that covers resurfacing, traffic signals, pedestrian facilities, and other improvements, according to MoDOT's presentation. Foster cited uncontrolled left turns as being responsible for 74% of crashes. He added that Council is committed to a goal of 0 fatalities by 2040 and 0 severe injuries by 2050. From 2016 to 2024, the route had 1,808 total crashes, with 6 of them resulting in fatalities, 35 resulting in disability, and 530 resulting in minor injuries, according to MoDOT data. Opposition to the project. Shepherding the opposition at the meeting was Richard Ollis, who first spoke out against medians in the waning days of his own city council service in 2023. Ollis is CEO of Ollis, Akers & Arney, an insurance broker and consultancy firm located on the route. Those opposing the route were jointly assigned a 20-minute slot, the same as city and MoDOT representatives, to voice their concerns. Greene County Sheriff Jim Arnott said he reviewed 5 years of data and found that 34% of accidents on the route are related to the median. He said first responders can have a delayed response when medians are in place, and they have to find the nearest intersection or opening and turn around. He also expressed concern about the danger posted by illegal U-turns from motorists and by foot traffic on medians. Sarah Christian, store lead at the Walmart Neighborhood Market, and Tom Conroy, general manager of Sam's Club, both at the eastern reach of the corridor, spoke together about what limited access would mean to their adjoining properties, with concerns about access for delivery trucks and the potential to increase cut-through traffic behind the stores, endangering employees. Bachman said MoDOT's expectation is for trucks to exit the stores via Blackman Road, which they would take south to Battlefield, the safest option, she said. Christian said when medians were added to the Walmart Neighborhood Market at the intersection of Grand Street and Campbell Avenue, the store experienced a 15% decline in business for the first 3 months following the change. She added that Walmart is large enough to absorb that loss, since customers likely went to other Walmart stores, but the same would not be possible for smaller businesses with only one location. Together, the two East Sunshine stores have approximately 7,000 customers a day, Christian said. Todd Wilson, Chief Operating Officer at Robert Roberts Online, also had historical data to show, noting that when limited access was implemented at the store location on National Avenue and Kingsley Street, it sustained a loss of 14% of its fuel gallons, or 150,000 gallons, and more than $400,000 in revenue annually. The harder we make it for people to do business in Springfield with things like this median, the more we could be losing to the surrounding areas where it's easier to access fuel and stations, he said. Rita Brown, owner of Barron Design and Associates, LLC, said she has 5 properties on the route and feels like she has enhanced the corridor by renovating old buildings along it. She added that she pays more than $400,000 annually in property taxes. Barron thanked MoDOT for being responsive, but she said she believes the road will become more dangerous from the changes. We're here to build this community, to help each other, she said. We can cooperate and work together and find a way to prevent accidents and traffic. But for us to build something like this and hurt the majority of us, I feel it's not the appropriate way to do that. 2 lawmakers, Missouri Senator Curtis Trent, Republican from Springfield, and Representative Bill Owen, Republican Springfield, shared constituent concerns about the project. Owen said the members of his caucus in Greene County sent a letter about those. Trent said the proposed changes had been a contentious plan from a long time, but so far they have flown under the radar. My concern, based on the experience that I've had and conversations around the county, is that there will be a great deal of concern amongst the general public, as well as about how that will impact their day-to-day business, as long as they try to go through this very significant economic corridor for our city, Trent said. He said it is his hope that some middle ground is reached or that the project does not move forward. Ollis concluded by giving the example of Bryan, Texas, a city that is looking to remove medians retrofitted onto a route like the Sunshine Street Plan. He said that Bryan businesses experienced a 15% decline in sales where medians were installed. He also noted that the city of Springfield brings in 65% of its revenue from sales taxes that are a result of business activity. I'd really encourage you to consider the economic impact of what we're about to do, he said. The business leaders ask, Ollis said, it is to move forward with intersection improvements, pedestrian upgrades, and repaving, but not with medians. Safety the focus. Council member Brandon Jensen said it is impossible to dispute the dangers of the city's roadways, with its ranking as the 14th most dangerous city for traffic fatalities. I understand this request for a compromise, but installing intersection improvements and pedestrian access points does nothing to address the safety concerns for our community. They do not meaningfully impact safety in a significant way, he said. As we potentially piecemealing this project, doing those other things, we're not going to realize any safety improvements, which is the primary function of this project and should be the primary function of this project. Jensen said businesses are already being impacted by safety concerns. Bachman pointed out that a 2022 study by MoDOT showed 32,000 vehicles per day on this route, but the current traffic is 28,000 per day, the maximum recommended for the route. You're seeing already a decline in the number of cars that are passing in front of your businesses because they know that this section of Sunshine is not a reliable transportation corridor if you need to get to or from somewhere in a timely fashion, Jensen said. MoDOT first proposed improvements, including the addition of 8-inch raised medians to Sunshine Street in a 2022 study. Through an April 2023 resolution sponsored by then Mayor Ken McClure and Council members Ollis and Abe McGull, Council asked for the department to suspend plans to add medians. Horton cast the sole vote against that measure. Bachman said the plan had been revised after MoDOT held a series of input sessions and met with members of the business community.
Okay. This is going to come from the Springfield Business Journal. Some exciting news for anyone who lives out towards Republic or West Springfield. The Big Slice owner, Levi Grant, readies his kitchen in advance of his restaurant's planned opening later this month. Pizza chain adds a new shop in Republic. The Big Slice's newest location targets a late December launch by Mike Cullinan, reporter for the Springfield Business Journal. A New York-style pizzeria with Springfield origins is expanding its Greene County presence with a new location in Republic. Plans call for the Big Slice LLC's newest shop to open later this month at 558 East Harrison Street in the Republic Town Center. I'm hoping we'll open right around Christmas Eve, said owner Levi Grant. I figured that'd be a good week to test what I was going to do. I've had quite a few people stop by to see if it's really going to be a Big Slice when I have my van out here. Grant, who opened the first Big Slice in 2013 at 1450 East Sunshine Street, estimates startup costs for the Republic store will be roughly $150,000. He signed a 5-year lease for around $2,000 a month with Jared Commercial and Management LLC. The 1,500 square foot shop formerly was occupied by Lucky Cat Boba Tea and Sweets LLC, which shuttered, Grant said. The Republic Pizzeria's opening will mark the third Big Slice location of which Grant has ownership, joining the Sunshine Street shop and downtown at Big Slice Golf and Games. Grant, along with Daniel Bryan, Matt Fawcett, Jay Hickman, and Colin Sadler, co-own the downtown venture, according to past Springfield Business Journal reporting. The business, which includes a full bar, arcade games, pinball, and indoor golf simulators, originally opened in February 2024 as the Big Time Arcade LLC, but changed names later that year, Grant said. We should have done that from the get-go, just because you're not going to get all the recognition from the brand that it is. It's all Big Slice Pizza, Grant said of the adult-themed arcade's food menu, which also serves as a Big Slice sister restaurant. A lot of people didn't know what it was. Just before the COVID-19 pandemic arrived, a second Big Slice location opened in February of 2020 off Kansas Expressway and James River Freeway, according to the past reporting. The Southside restaurant at 4126 South Kansas Expressway was launched by Grant and childhood friend Justin Kennedy, who split the initial investment of the new pizzeria. While Grant said the Kansas Expressway shop isn't a franchise location, he added Kennedy purchased his share of the store as originally planned for an undisclosed price. Grant said Kennedy became sole owner around February 2024, and its menu is nearly identical to the other Big Slice locations. Adding a location in Republic has been in Grant's sight for years. I was looking at doing Republic before we actually even did the Kansas location, he said. It was either going to go to the South location or out here in Republic. And then we kind of fell upon a spot out there, so we went that way. Still, Grant said, a Republic shop possibility reemerged a few months after he started a Big Slice food truck in Rogersville around Valentine's Day of this year. A Rogersville resident, he considered a brick-and-mortar location there, but said that the Republic location was going to be a fraction of the cost. So I figured I'd jump on Republic real fast and try to do this one first and then go where I needed to go next, he said, noting that in October he shut down the food truck and it remains parked at his residence. I kind of figured I'd concentrate on Republic during the winter at least and see what happens. It might go back out. I might sell it, he said of the food truck. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. In the meantime, Grant said he's awaiting the completion of heating, ventilating, and air conditioning work and the final inspection in advance of the Republic's location launch. He plans to manage roughly 12 employees upon the shop's opening. We're excited to be out here and we're ready to start making some good pizza, he said. I'm ready to test everything out.
These are the holidays and for Friday, December 12th, 2025. The Festival of Unmentionable Thoughts, also known as Taboo Day, observed annually on December 12th. Gingerbread House Day, also known as Gingerbread House Day, observed annually. International Sound Check Day. I guess we can check this microphone all the time. National 12-Hour Fresh Breath Day is observed on December 12th. National Ambrosia Day. National Ding-a-Ling Day. Today is National Poinsettia Day. Also observed National Salesperson's Day. Official Lost and Found Day today. And this is reported from the Springfield Business Journal by SBJ staff, December 11th, 2025. 2 Springfield companies rank America's best workplaces. 2 Springfield-based companies have ranked on a list of top employers nationwide. Keep Simply and Ollis, Akers & Arney are among America's best workplaces. According to the list published by Best Companies Group, the rankings were determined based on an application process and a 75-question survey completed anonymously by employees. Both Springfield companies were on the medium employer list, with Keep Supply coming in at number 4 and Ollis, Akers & Arney at number 5. America's Best Workplaces additionally comprises the categories of small employers, large employers, and enterprise employers. For Keep Simply, the honor comes the same year as the industrial parts and equipment distributor relocated to 117 Park Central Square from 601 North National Avenue, Suite 102, according to past reporting. With the move, the company expects to expand its workforce by roughly 100 positions over the next several years. Lindsay Bauer, Keep Simply's Director of People and Culture, provided a statement on behalf of the company. This achievement is a true reflection of the people who make up our organization, the statement reads. As we continue to grow, we remain deeply committed to protecting and nurturing the culture that brought us here. With international leadership, authentic connection, and a shared dedication to doing what's right, we will continue building a place where people feel valued, supported, and inspired to do their best work. In a news release, insurance brokerage Ollis, Akers & Arney cited its 100% employee-owned culture for making the list. Being employee-owned, each member of our team is invested in having the best work environment possible, said Richard Ollis, the company's CEO, in the release. Beyond the basics on competitive compensation, paid time off, policies, and benefits packages, culture always starts with your people. We appreciate this award especially because it is heavily determined by our employee owner feedback. On the America's Best Workplace list, Virginia-based AAC Incorporated is number 1 in the medium employer category. Florida-based TRM CPA tops the small employer category, with Pennsylvania-based WebFX ranking as number 1 in the large employer list, and Virginia-based Carney & Company placing first among the enterprise employers.
All right. From the Springfield Daily Citizen. Committee advances City Council internship program pilot to start. The full Springfield City Council is expected to take up a resolution establishing the program in January. The Springfield City Council is considering creating an internship program to assist council members with legislative research and other tasks while providing students an opportunity to explore municipal government and public policy. The City Council's Plans and Policies Committee unanimously voted December the 10th to recommend the internship program to the full City Council, which previewed the proposed program at its December 2nd study session. City staff will draft a resolution based on the proposal, which is expected to go before Council in January. The idea of the program was referred to the committee earlier this year at the request of Councilmember Brandon Jensen. Jensen previously indicated that the program could help support the development of new policies, which can be a time-consuming process for council members who are unpaid and have full-time jobs. While the city already has an internship program, which has welcomed about 60 interns since it was established in 2013, the City Council currently does not. Unlike the existing program, which is overseen by the Human Resources Department, the City Council internship program would be managed by the City Clerk's office. However, the proposed program was largely modeled after the existing program. When this was brought forward, rather than recreating a whole new system, we looked at, could we put something for City Council under this umbrella, City Clerk Anita Cotter said at the December 2nd meeting. In addition to legislative research and policy support, interns could help with records transparency, summarizing minutes, casework, and correspondence. Interns in the program are not intended to be city staff, Cotter said, but rather to assist council members with special projects and research. However, in order to comply with the prohibition of interference in Springfield's council manager systems, interns would report directly to Cotter or to the deputy city clerk, not council members. City plans to partner with local universities. In an effort to tailor the program to the needs of students, the city plans to partner with local universities which may offer course credit for the completion of the internship. As such, the program would be semester-based, lasting 12 to 15 weeks, with the ability for the internship to be renewed. While all majors are welcome, students studying political science, public administration, communication, and legal studies would be encouraged to apply. Like the existing program, interns under the City Council program would be compensated at $15 an hour. While managed by the City Clerk's office, the program would be funded out of the existing internship program in the Human Resources Department. Interns would be expected to work 12 to 15 hours per week with scheduling flexibility to accommodate academic schedules. The City Clerk's office would conduct midterm and final evaluations, and interns would be required to submit a final reflection project. In addition, council members would evaluate how the intern performed, and the intern would evaluate how well the program met their needs. We would like to see this as helping them with professional development, helping them see what could be out there in their future, which may be sitting in your seat, maybe working for the city, also looking a little bit at ethics in government, Cotter told council members. If approved by City Council, the program would launch as a pilot in the first year with 1 or 2 interns. After establishing a success matrix, the city would evaluate the program, formalize partnerships with universities, and implement potential changes in the second year of the program. Year 3 would be when we would actually roll out a full-blown version of this, Cotter said. That would be when you would consider whether or not you wanted to go with more than 2 interns or 1 intern, and it would also give us some really valuable feedback from both the intern, the council members, and the individuals in the city that they're working with over how successful this is, where we can go. At that time, the city may also need to consider an increase in the human resources budget. Cotter said she would also like to develop an alumni network to monitor where former interns go with their career. This article is by Jack McGee, the government affairs reporter at the Springfield Daily Citizen. He previously covered politics and business for the Daily Citizen. He's an MSU graduate with a Bachelor of Science degree in journalism and a minor in political science. You can reach him at jmcgee@sgfcitizen.org or 417-837-3663.
This article comes to us from the Springfield Business Journal. Gold Mountain Communications acquired by Jeff Pickle, digital editor. Gold Mountain Communications, LLC, an inbound-outbound call center and service agency based in Springfield, has been acquired by an international company. Hugo Incorporated, a Chicago-based business process outsourcing company that operates on a global scale, closed today on the purchase of Gold Mountain Communications, said Ian McGuire, Chief Operating Officer and co-owner of the Springfield business with founder Hank Sievers. The financial terms of the deal were not disclosed. McGuire, who remains COO and a minority stake owner along with Sievers, said the acquisition came about after Gold Mountain began exploring growth initiatives in 2024. This has been a long, diligent process, McGuire said, noting the deal with Hugo was finalized almost 10 months to the day after discussions started with the company. Kirill Pesterev, Chief Corporate Development Officer at Hugo, said the company would gain expertise in the travel and hospitality industries with the purchase of Gold Mountain, while the latter business would gain access to sectors such as technology, healthcare, and e-commerce. We really want to have our center of U.S.-based excellence here in Springfield, Missouri, Pesterev said. The company is global, so we have the workforce around the world in multiple countries. The intention of the short term is to keep the Gold Mountain Communications name intact as a subsidiary of Hugo, Pesterev said. We really want to build and utilize the brand that's happening here over the last 15 plus years, he said. Sievers, who will remain involved in Gold Mountain as a strategic advisor, launched the company in 2009, according to Springfield Business Journal archives. After 16 years of building Gold Mountain on principles of integrity, respect, and a commitment, I wouldn't partner with just anyone, Sievers said in a news release announcing the acquisition. Hugo shares our belief that quality matters, that people matter, and that clients deserve partners who go above and beyond. McGuire said the company now employs 375 who will all stay on board, and this year recorded roughly 2.5 million total calls. Company officials declined to disclose annual revenues. Our existing business and our people, that's what made us attractive, he said.
Okay, let's talk about sports. From the Springfield News-Leader, Drury Lady Panthers run-win streak to 3 games with a win over Quincy. This is from the Drury Athletics Communications Department, special to the News-Leader. Quincy, Illinois, Drury women's basketball extended its win streak to 3 games with a 74-67 win at Quincy on Saturday afternoon, December the 6th at Pepsi Arena. Rhea Gibbons recorded her second double-double for the season with 20 points and 10 rebounds to lead the Panthers. Kaylee King added 13 points to aid Drury's effort. Drury, 5-3, 3-0 GLVC, led from start to finish, marking the second time on their 3-game road trip the Lady Panthers notched a win without trailing, also at SBU on December the 1st. Drury outshot Quincy .435 to .419 from the floor, thanks in large part to a 12 of 20 .600 effort from beyond the arc for the Lady Panthers. Josie Story started the game with an open 3 from King. Quincy answered with 3 of their own. A made jumper and a pair of free throws extended the Lady Panthers' lead 8-3, 2 minutes into the game. Quincy tied it up at 8, but Drury regained their lead by the end of the first quarter, 17-12. In the second quarter, Audra Paskinarsis assisted on a Gibbons three-pointer to grow the Lady Panthers to 9. The Lady Panthers extended their lead to as many as 11 points in the second quarter and entered halftime up 32-26. Drury came out of the locker room on fire. The Lady Panthers started the second half on a 14-2 run in just 3 minutes of play. During the run, Drury was 4 for 4 on three-pointers and 5 for 5 from the field, as Story Gibbons and Paskinarsis each contributed in the scoring column. Following a Quincy timeout, Drury led by a game-high 18 points. The Hawks battled back from the deficit, but entered the fourth quarter trailing 55-42. Quincy native and Lady Panthers freshman Sage Stratton drilled a three-pointer to start the fourth quarter. A Reagan Halliday layup from Stratton extended the Lady Panthers lead back to 18 1 minute into the quarter. A late push by the Hawks was cut short as the Lady Panthers iced the game with free throws from Gibbons and Halliday. Drury Swimming and Diving sweeps double duel from SBU. Drury men's and women's swimming and diving turned in dominant performances to sweep double duel wins from Southwest Baptist and William Jewell on Friday evening, December the 5th at Breach Pool. Ranked number 1 in the latest College Swimming and Diving Coaches Association of America, the CSCAA, Division II, top 25 dual meet poll, the Drury men turned in a 165-9 win over William Jewell and a 168-6 victory over SBU. The DU women's squad, ranked 3rd in the November CSCAA D2 poll, cruised past SBU by a 161-13 final tally and bested Jewell by a 156-18 count. Highlighting the evening was Alvaro Zornoza's NCAA Division II record-setting performance in the men's 100 IM. The junior from Gijón, Spain, turned in a time of 48.31, breaking Ben Sampson's D2 record of 48.51. Drury diving will return to action Saturday, December 13th against Rockhurst at Robinson Natatorium in Lawrence.
We have some obituaries from the Springfield News-Leader. Thursday, December 11th, 2025, Mary Dean Reed, age 95, from Springfield, Missouri. Daughter of Condi Dean Cornett and Verbale Rosalie Cox Cornett, was born February 13th, 1930 in Springfield, and passed away December 5th, 2025. At the age of 95. Dwight Clinton Cobaugh, age 80, from St. Paul, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Dwight Clinton Cobaugh passed away on December 6, 2025 in St. Paul, Minnesota. He was born September 22, 1945, and lived a life devoted to faith, family, and education. Dwight was married to Nancy. Hewitt Henry Wiley, age 98, Punta Gorda, Florida. Known to most as Dusty, passed away peacefully on the morning of December 6th at the age of 98. Born on October 25th, 1925, to Alice and Otis Wiley. Ima Jean Robinson. With grateful hearts for a life well lived, the family announces the passing of a beloved wife, mother, grandmother, and faithful servant of God. Ima Jean Noggle Robinson was born on March 24th, 1928. Samantha Sarton from Springfield, Missouri, 27, passed away December 7th, 2025. Arrangements provided by Greenlawn Funeral Home North. And from obituaries, we're going to go to the Springfield News-Leader, the Mystery Hour, to include actor Ed Begley Jr. for a holiday show by Marta Measy. Springfield's own Mystery Hour is getting ready to host its annual holiday show and made even more jolly this year by including actor Ed Begley Jr. The Mystery Hour Holiday Special brings a holiday twist to the late-night talk-style show on Friday, December 12th at the Galois Theater, 325 Park Central East. The show announced via news release on Wednesday, December 3rd, that it will be joined by Begley, who has appeared in many movies and TV shows including Young Sheldon, Better Call Saul, Arrested Development, A Mighty Wind, and Holiday Touchdown, A Chief's Love Story. Joining Begley will also be musician Randall Shreve. The evening of holiday fun also promises performance by Guinevere Goodwin, Emerson Day, and new digital videos according to the release. The show will begin at 7:30 and tickets can still be purchased for $25 at the Galois box office or on the website. The Mystery Hour aired for 10 seasons on various Fox, ABC, NBC, and CW affiliates across the country, broadcast from the Galois Theater in downtown Springfield. During the 10 seasons on television, the show won 4 Emmy Awards on the Mid-American chapter. Craving an Ed Begley Jr. movie? The day after the Mystery Hour show, College Station Theaters at 415 West College Street will screen 3 of Begley films with a Q&A with the actor to follow after each. All 3 screenings will take place on Saturday, December 13th. Here's when to catch them. A Mighty Wind at 5:30 p.m., She-Devil at 6 p.m., and Batman Forever at 6:15 p.m. And finally, I have from the Springfield News-Leader, Evangels University's Christmas concert will air December 25th on local TV. Evangel University's annual Christmas concert will be broadcast on local television stations on Christmas Day. The 1-hour special features nearly 200 student musicians from various university ensembles. This marks the 3rd year the university has partnered with KY3 to air the holiday performance. Evangel University's Christmas concert with student singers and musicians will air on local stations during the December 25th holiday. The Evangel Music Department's annual Christmas concert, which occurred December 5th on campus, will be shown on KY3 and its sister stations, KSBR and Ozarks CW on Christmas Day. The 1-hour special will air at 5 p.m. on KSBR, which is ABC, at 6 a.m. on KY3, which is NBC, and 8 a.m. on the Ozarks CW. Evangel University has a long-standing tradition of celebrating the holiday season with the local community via our annual Christmas concert, said Tom Matrone, chair of Evangel's music department, in a release. We are honored to partner with KY3 for a 3rd year to present this 1-hour Christmas special highlighting Evangel's talented student musicians and directors. Nearly 200 musicians performed at the 41st annual December 5th concert in the Robert H. Spence Chapel on campus. Featured groups included the Evangel University Chorus, Men's Vocal Ensemble, Jazz Band, Evangel University Orchestra and Band, Women's Chamber Ensemble, and University Choral. Song selections ranged from classical to traditional, such as EU Chorus and Choral's presentation of seasonal favorite, O Come All Ye Faithful. Don Goler's well-known arrangement of Christmas Festival of the Carols, performed by EU's combined orchestra and band. Amy Grant and Michael W. Smith's Christmas Hymn, and Handel's majestic Hallelujah Chorus. Last year's Christmas Day special may be viewed at evangel.edu/Christmas special.
Okay. Well, this next article is going to come from the Springfield News-Leader, posted today from Ahmed Jawadi. These food and drinks will be banned from the Missouri SNAP benefits in 2026. Missourians who rely on the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, or SNAP, may soon see new restrictions on what they can buy with the federal benefit. The U.S. Department of Agriculture said in a news release that it approved Missouri's waiver request to make certain foods and beverages no longer eligible for purchase under SNAP. Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe's office announced in September it wanted to alter the state's SNAP program to have it focus more on healthier food. We are incredibly thankful for Secretary Rollins' approval of our waiver, Kehoe said. Missouri is proud to partner with the Trump administration on the Make America Healthy Again movement as we refocus SNAP to maximize nutritional health for families while also supporting the abundant agricultural output of our state. Missouri joins 11 other states that have similar waiver requests approved by the USDA. What items are excluded from SNAP benefits in Missouri? Missouri's SNAP waiver request asked to exclude these items: candy, prepared desserts, carbonated and non-carbonated soft drinks, drinks or punches with 50% or less natural fruit or vegetable juice, beverage mixes, concentrates with 50% or less natural fruit or vegetable juice, and energy drinks. When do SNAP restrictions start in Missouri? The Missouri Department of Social Services anticipates SNAP changes will take effect in October of 2026.
This article comes from 417 Magazine. On historic Commercial Street in Springfield, Missouri, you can find an eclectic Christmas store dedicated to all things merry and bright. Alyssa Rooney. Have you ever heard of a bull in a china shop? On Commercial Street, you can find a much sweeter version, a bulldog in an ornament shop. Miss Peppermint Piggy Patty is a 4-year-old English bulldog and part-time security guard at North Star Christmas Company, a year-round Christmas store based in Springfield. To North Star's co-owner and operator, Jennifer Bessie Baker, Piggy was a Christmas gift of sorts. She adopted her at Christmas time. As you pursue the quaint shop located across the street from LaCroix Bistro, you become lost in a forest of Christmas trees while a warm cinnamon smell wafts through the space of the sound of Mele Kalikimeka. Each tree incorporates its own distinct aesthetic, the handiwork of Bess Baker and her family. During the holiday seasons, including St. Patrick's Day and Mother's Day, some plastic evergreen trees take on a completely different seasonal character. This passion for festivity started well before Bess Baker opened North Star alongside her husband, Derek Baker, earlier this year. She said that they have always gone all out for celebrations, something that was important when she and Baker discussed their family plans. My husband and I both grew up in homes with great parents, but homes where they did not decorate, Bess Baker says. My parents are just not holiday people, and neither are his parents. They're not birthday people. It's a very regular kind of day for them. When Bess Baker and her husband got together and ultimately decided to get married, they talked through their future might look like in a home. They wanted celebrations like birthdays and Christmases to feel extra special. There's a picture here that looks like the inside of Santa's workshop. There are several Christmas trees decorated up, many ornaments on hangers around the store. Photos by Katie St. Clair. North Star Christmas Company is packed with festive color. The couple's Christmas collection grew so big that they started a business, first selling online, then later in an antique mall booths, including relics. Around this same time, Baker began installing Christmas lights for customers, a service the shop still offers alongside Christmas tree decorations. The move on a storefront was a natural progression as their demand increased. Bess Baker describes the couple's business as a side hustle, as the two currently work in government and are not set to retire until 2027. We just want to give back to our community, she said. We have very stressful jobs, both my husband and I. This is the exact opposite of that. While Branson has its own array of Christmas shops, Bess Baker says what differentiates North Star is her Springfield-specific ornaments, often purchased as souvenirs, as well as her personal connection with customers. We try to give really individualized customer service, she says, especially me, because I'm a chatty person. To Bess Baker, the store prioritizes the magic of Christmas all year, something she defines as the feeling of giving and caring and loving. Some of the most endearing aspects of North Star Christmas Company are its Christmas elves, that is, the Baker's children. They are often hard at work around the store, greeting customers and working the cash register. Some of these children were adopted through the foster care system. Bess Baker says their experiences reinvigorated their passion for festivity. She estimates that about 20 kids have passed through her home over the past 6 years, and she has made sure to go all out for holidays and birthdays. I truly enjoy bringing kids into the home and letting them experience an over-the-top Christmas because it may be the only one that they ever have, she says. In her brick-and-mortar store on C Street, she is helping spread this whimsy. In fact, she and her husband hand-selected the store's location because of the street's character. She wanted a Christmas store and not a mall store. C Street. Bess Baker says, is also a metaphor for her marriage. The street's mix of historic architecture with eclectic shops matches her husband's traditional nature and her love of unique items. Items like the ornament of Michelangelo's David in red bikini trunks or the chrome Buddha. In the future, Bess Baker hopes to keep the business in the family. In particular, she sees her 15-year-old daughter Paige taking over, citing her entrepreneurial spirit. She is shown a true initiative to want to have a business. She says, "Could that mean there will be changing of the guard when it's time for Piggy to enjoy her retirement?" And that's the end of the article.
All right, from the Springfield Daily Citizen, more news from the Blue Room Comedy Club. Blue Room Comedy sues the new Springfield Club landlord and the ticket company. Blue Room filed the suit in Greene County Circuit Court December 11th, one day before the first show at Springfield Comedy Club. Blue Room Comedy Club filed a suit against Springfield Comedy Club, the landlord of the downtown property that leased to the business and a ticketing company. The owner of Springfield Comedy Club, Adam Norwest, said the suit is an unfortunate waste of time for everyone. After a controversial year for Blue Room involving national touring comedians calling out the club on social media, the comedy business closed in early November. The property owner, Tillman Redevelopment LLC, announced it would lease the downtown space to Washington State-based BARK Entertainment, which plans to open Springfield Comedy Club in December of 2025. Blue Room filed the suit in Greene County Circuit Court December the 11th, one day before the first show at Springfield Comedy Club. The suit names defendants the Shops at College Station LLC, Bark Entertainment LLC, and Seat Engine LLC. The company property is allegedly worth more than $150,000. The lawsuit alleges that the property owner locked the doors to the property and barred Blue Room from taking back company property, including equipment, furniture, inventory, and more, worth well in excess of $150,000. Some of those items were purchased with U.S. Small Business Administration and City of Springfield loans, according to the suit. Bark took possession of many of those items and began using the company's property, according to the suit. The suit alleges that the conduct constituted wrongful eviction. Blue Room also alleges that Bark worked with Seat Engine, a Pennsylvania-based ticketing company, to get Blue Room customer data, which included emails. Norwest, owner of Bark, said that Chris Richel, owner of the Blue Room, personally gave him the data, and Norwest says he has the text receipts to prove it. And when it comes to the lease, Norwest said Richel absolved it. Chris Richel gave me access to all of his old customer files and data, like I have a text message from him giving me access to that, Norwest said. Bark to purchase the equipment, property owner declines to comment. Bark's owner said that the company is in negotiations with the city to purchase the equipment inside the building, which was purchased with a loan from the city. Norwest says he plans to find a Springfield-based lawyer to pursue litigation. I do plan on contacting a local Springfield attorney tomorrow and filing, a full cease and desist to make sure that my employees and the business is not harassed in any way, Norwest said. Obviously, it was filed the day before opening to try and be a thorn. Paul Tillman of Tillman Redevelopment, which owns the property that housed the comedy club at 420 West College Street, declined to comment on December the 11th. Tillman told the Daily Citizen in early November that the company terminated the lease with the Blue Room without penalty. The downtown property had more than 23,000 square feet and was owned by the Shops at College Station LLC, according to Greene County Assessor's Office records. Missouri Secretary of State records show Scott Tillman as an organizer of the Shops at College Station. The lawsuit includes 11 counts against Bark Entertainment, the Shops at College Station, and Seat Engine. The law office of Chad G. Mann LLC is representing the Blue Room in this suit. In November, Springfield Comedy Club announced it would donate $25,000 in free tickets in order to restore the Springfield Community Trust in the comedy scene after the Blue Room did not issue refunds to customers for canceled shows. The story is by Ryan Collins, the business and economic development reporter for the Springfield Daily Citizen. Collins graduated from Glendale High School in 2011 before studying journalism and economics at the University of Missouri-Columbia. He previously worked for Bloomberg News. You can contact him at 417-849-2570 or rcollins@sgfcitizen.org.
This comes from the Springfield Daily Citizen. From the shopping section. Don't sleep in on these Republic Road shops this Christmas, by Juliana Goodwin. From fashion and kids boutiques to outdoor gear, records, and even pet gifts, this Springfield stretch has more holiday finds than you'd expect. When people talk about shopping local in Springfield, they often point to downtown and Commercial Street because they're so walkable. But Springfield's retail scene stretches well beyond those districts. Republic Road alone is lined with boutiques and specialty shops, so when we spent an afternoon exploring what's available for holiday gifts. From kids' clothing to outdoor gear, there's a surprising range here, especially if you're shopping for women. This isn't a complete list, but it's a good place to start. Bree's Little Closet. Kansas City-themed apparel and accessories fill a display inside Bree's Little Closet, a woman's clothing boutique on Republic Road in Springfield. Brianna Melton and Tina Barnett own Bree's Little Closet, an adorable women's clothing store. They have a mobile fashion boutique parked outside that travels to festivals, concerts, and events. Brianna, or Bree, is the namesake and owns the venture with her mom. They've been in business for 7 years and have casual, trendy clothes from small to plus size. If there are Kansas City Chiefs fans in your house, they have some cute stuff from sweatshirts to earrings. They also have a great selection of adorable holiday earrings for less than $20 a pair, including glittery red, rustic plaid trees, and even the leg lamp from the movie A Christmas Story. The Denim Bar is a popular spot and stocks Judy blue jeans and Risen brands. They're running a 12 Days of Christmas sale with a different deal each day, often 50% off select items such as jewelry. Check their Facebook page or ask in the store for current special. You can find Bree's Little Closet at 1607 West Republic Road. Jude Tank. Holiday sweatshirts, pajamas, and accessories are displayed at Jude Tank, an upscale children's boutique on Republic Road. Clothing from babies to tweens, the largest selection of clothes is geared toward tweens, about 80%, says owner Anna Bilberry. The store stocks stunning holiday dresses and unbelievably soft pajamas and loungewear, as well as everyday apparel. Brilby opened Jade Tank 7 years ago. She carries brands such as Ice Cream, Urge, Dolls and Divas, and Tinley, to name a few. Brilly also posts deals on Facebook, so check out social media to see what discounts are available this month. There's free shipping on orders of $100 or more, so you can also shop online if you don't want to get out. She's running a holiday gift card special throughout the month of December. Get a $100 card for $75. You can find it at 1111 East Republic Road, Suite 148. Ozark Adventures. Winter hats and outdoor apparel are displayed at Ozark Adventures on Republic Road in Springfield, a longtime shop for outdoor gear and clothing. Ozark Adventures is a spot for the outdoor enthusiast, and there are many of them in this neck of the woods. In business since 1979, the store carries an incredible array of outdoor clothing for men, women, and children. If you plan to go hiking, skiing, or camping in the cold, they've got you covered. They also sell paddling gear, rock climbing equipment, camping stuff, backpacks, water purification tools, hiking boots, medical kits, a huge selection of warm socks, popular tennis shoes like Hoka, or even climbing shoes. They've been around a long time, so obviously they are doing something right. You can find Ozark Adventures at 1111 East Republic Road, Suite 140, or on Facebook. Fleet Feet. On Republic Road, offers running shoes and custom insoles designed for individual foot support. If you know someone who is a runner or just struggles with arch support, then a gift card to Fleet Feet might be a good idea. This is more than a running shoe store. Aside from selling athletic shoes, they create custom insoles to provide support specific to your feet. The customer service is awesome. You check in when you get there and a sales representative will ask you questions. Then you have to step on a machine that will read your gait, pressure, points, and height of your arch. There are two options for insoles, a thinner one for running shoes and a thicker one for boots. Their goal is a perfect custom fit for your feet. You will not get the 3D printed insoles that day. It takes 1 to 2 weeks. This store has been ranked in the top 50 best running stores in America multiple times. The store has been open since 2008, and you can also make an appointment ahead of time if you don't want the chance having to wait. Find Fleet Feet at 1254 East Republic Road or on Facebook. Harriman Company. Jewelry, clothing, and shoes inside Harriman Company, an upscale boutique on Republic Road in Springfield known for fashion and accessories. For 55 years, the Harriman Company has been part of Springfield's retail landscape. This upscale boutique has a gorgeous interior with fashionable clothes, stunning shoes, and no shortage of bling. There are killer knee-high leopard print boots, ankle boots, trendy tennis shoes, and more. If someone you know likes leopard print, there are scarves, jackets, and several other options. They sell button covers, which are sparkly rhinestones that go over buttons on a shirt to elevate the garment. They do an excellent job of blending casual and fancy by draping rhinestone jewelry over a sweatshirt or pairing a lovely cardigan with jeans. Their passion for fashion is evident in this store. They carry the Favorite Daughter clothing line for younger buyers and stock an array of sweatshirts in that brand. You'll also find business totes, suits by MZ Wallace, sunglasses, and candles. They cater to a wide spectrum of ages from 17 to 90, and it is an upscale boutique. You can find Harriman Company at 1638 East Republic Road or on Facebook. Bag Lady Boutique. Colorful Christmas trees, ornaments, and holiday displays brighten the store at Bag Lady Boutique in Springfield. From the name, you might expect Bag Lady Boutique to specialize in handbags, but it doesn't. Instead, it is a charming place for home decor, gifts, Christmas decorations, and yes, clothes and purses. The moment you walk in, the aroma and candles hit you in a wonderful way. There are beautiful cardinal ornaments at the entrance by a gold and silver holiday display. Cardinal options are peppered throughout. The store stocks nature-inspired holiday items and Christmas trees throughout. The gift options abound from candles, cocktail mixes, mugs, platters, entertaining dishes, tea towels, knickknacks, and much more. The setup is split into two sides, and on the second side you will find the handbags, wallets, and a few backpacks and clothes. But the home decor area is magical. Customers were instantly commenting on how beautiful it was as they meandered through. Find the Bag Lady Boutique at 1111 East Republic Road, Suite 156, or on Facebook. Artistic Works by Lou has been in Springfield for 9 years and in its third location. It has a great story behind it. The owner, Lou Newvin, was a military wife with 3 kids who started making furniture from her home in 2003. Her creations became so popular that a few years later she opened a retail space in Leavenworth, Kansas, which is still in business. From there, she started a boutique in Springfield and added clothes that would pair well with her jewelry. Her creations are unique and she makes a lot of pendants that can be switched out. So when you buy one main piece and then swap pendants to custom create your own look for the day, it's chic and playful. She uses turquoise, mixed metals, beads, and delivers a distinct style, mostly attracting women 40 and up. Find Artistic Works at 1149 East Republic Road or on Facebook. Endless treasures and gifts and collectibles. If you know a record lover, Head to Endless Treasures Gifts and Collectibles Flea Market. They have records galore. The store is packed with thousands of albums covering all genres. It is their specialty. There's also a back room with $3 records with lots of gospel and country. They also carry locally made leather purses and wood and leather earrings made by a retired teacher, Dolores Norton of D's Designs Leather and Jewelry, who also sells her wares at Silver Dollar City. The leather purses are gorgeous but more expensive as they were handmade, but the earrings are less than $20. Looking for a vintage Hallmark Barbie ornament? They have those. There are dolls, vintage glass, a record player console, books, and more at this cozy mom and pop shop that opened in 2019. Find Endless Treasures and Gifts and Collectibles at 1309 East Republic Road on Facebook. James Home Decor. While James Home Decor is primarily an interior design company, the showroom has a gorgeous array of home furnishings. You can shop off the floor or for a wall hanging, step stool, vase, lamp, mirror, or hire the designers to reimagine your living room. Interior designer Lee Hake opened the shop in 1982 and has a team of designers who handle residential or commercial design, which is the bulk of their business. The showroom is unique, nothing like walking into a chain store, so if you're looking for an elegant accent for your home, pop in. Also known for its luxurious linens, which are always a nice gift option because everyone loves a cozy night's sleep. Find James Home Decor at 1324 East Republic Road or on Facebook. Fetch Pet Supplies and Gifts. If you are one of those families who wrap gifts for your dog, then Fetch Pet Supplies and Gifts has numerous options. Open since 2016, you'll find an array of healthy treats and chews, collars, precious bandanas, toys galore, and delightful doggy apparel like a leopard fleece or a shirt that says, "All I want for Christmas is a treat." You can even find holiday dog cookies in the bakery case that are so realistic you'd swear they were for humans. They are passionate about healthy food for dogs and cats and can talk to you about all the brands they carry, which you won't find at a grocery store. If the holidays or in-laws stress out your pet, they have CBD treats to calm their nerves. Anything your pup can dream of is probably there. Fetch Pet Supplies and Gifts, 1332 East Republic Road, or on Facebook. This article was by Juliana Goodwin, is a freelance artist with experience covering business, travel, and tourism, health, food, and history. She is a former food and travel columnist for the Springfield News-Leader, a former business reporter for the Joplin Globe, and has written for the USA Today and Arkansas Living Magazine, among others.
We are currently broadcasting live from the Blind Community Thrift Store situated at 2713 North Kansas Expressway in Springfield, Missouri. For additional information about our store, please visit our official website at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. To explore more of our video content, including movie reviews with Matt and Meredith, adaptive technology training videos, and other informative material, please visit our YouTube channel by searching for Blind Community Thrift Store. Our organization is dedicated to supporting the blind community through various initiatives, and our online platform serves as valuable resources for community engagement and education. Now, real quick, let's talk about some weather. This is from Kohler 10, OzarksFirst.com. Arctic attack invades Saturday night. Southwest Missouri and northern Arkansas had a mild day on Thursday in the 50s and 60s. Meanwhile, the battle lines between cold and mild were waging war in central Missouri, where readings were kept in the 40s. The cold air gains footing in the Ozarks again today, following a cold front this morning. Temperatures today area-wide will be in the upper 30s to low 40s with a north breeze at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Skies will be mostly cloudy with only occasional breaks in the clouds. The cold air siege isn't done yet. Tonight will be in the mid-20s, and the warm air puts up a fight on Saturday. Temperatures in northern Arkansas may be closer to 50, while those in Missouri can expect highs in the low to mid-40s. The cold gradient intensifies north of Highway 60, where temperatures could be in the 30s all day Saturday. The main invasion of Arctic air happens on Saturday around sunset. Cold air will race southward, and the Ozarks will be in the teens and single digits Sunday morning. Freezing temperatures are expected to reach the Gulf Coast by Sunday night. This will be a round of potentially dangerous cold. Wind chills will be below 0 degrees on Sunday morning. Sunday will struggle to make 30 degrees with wind chills in the teens in the afternoon. The coldest air will have moved east Sunday night, but temperatures in the Ozarks will still be in the teens out the door Monday morning. We will begin warming little by little next week. Monday will rise into the mid-40s, and Tuesday and Wednesday will climb into the 50s and even 60s. Nicer days appear to line up one after the other next week, with overall warmer than normal temperatures expected leading into Christmas. However, we may lower temperatures back to near normal at the end of December.
This article comes from the Springfield Daily Citizen for Springfield and Greene County. A petition against a huge East Division development deemed insufficient. On November 3rd, the Springfield City Council approved a request to rezone 48 acres at 3830 East Division Street, which was recently annexed into the city, from agricultural zoning to a planned development. This article is by Jack McGee. A referendum petition seeking to repeal the ordinance that authorized the rezoning for a controversial housing development proposed on East Division Street has been deemed insufficient by the city clerk's office. Ben Shantz, an attorney with Spencer Fain LLP, representing the Bristol Park subdivision, which is adjacent to the proposed development, submitted the referendum petition to the city clerk's office on December 3rd. According to December 4th letter addressed to Shantz from City Clerk Anita Cotter. On November 3rd, the Springfield City Council approved a request to rezone 48 acres at 3830 East Division Street, which was recently annexed into the city, from agricultural zoning to a planned development. The project will include 510 housing units, including 26 single-family homes, 20 villas, 16 duplexes, 40 townhomes, and 408 apartments across 10 three-story apartment buildings. While East Division Development LLC is listed as the applicant on the rezoning application, the project is a joint adventure between Canyon View Capital, a property investment company headquartered in California with several Springfield area apartment complexes in its portfolio, and Nepradak Builders, a Springfield-based construction company, according to previous Daily Citizen reporting. Although the referendum petition was submitted within 30 days of the council's approval as required by the city charter, it was short of the signatures required to compel the city council to either repeal the ordinance or authorize a special election, allowing voters to determine its fate. For a referendum petition to be insufficient, it must be signed by qualified electors totaling 10% of the voters who cast ballots in the last general municipal election in April. Based on the April 2025 election, this required 1,499 signatures. According to Cotter, the petition submitted by Shantz contained 1,034 signatures, making it insufficient. Under the city charter, a referendum petition may not be amended within 10 days after the notification of insufficiency with an additional petition. In other words, the petitioners are provided an opportunity to collect additional signatures. However, Cotter said this provision is only applicable for petitions that have the required number of signatures at the time of submission, even if some are not from qualified voters, because the petition was deemed insufficient on its face. The city's clerk did not certify the signatures as belonging to registered voters of Springfield. Citing case law, Cotter said in a December 4th letter addressed to Shantz, a petition must contain the required number of signatures as set out by the city charter, section 14.2, at the time of its initial submission or in order to be deemed sufficient. If it does not, petitioners are not afforded additional time to amend or supplement the petition. Additional time is provided only when the petition contains the required number of signatures initially, but some signatures cannot be certified because the petition you submitted did not include the required number of signatures by the deadline established by the city charter. It is deemed insufficient, and no additional time for the amendment can be granted. Cotter is expected to certify the petition as insufficient at the December 15th City Council meeting. Because the petition was deemed insufficient, no action will be required by the City Council. Jessica Ingram, a resident of the Bristol Park subdivision who helped lead the referendum effort, expressed frustration over the fact that many neighbors to the proposed development, including herself, were unable to sign the petition due to living outside of the city limits. We've essentially been denied a voice in the matter that directly impacts our property, Ingram told the Springfield Daily Citizen. My home in particular, my front door is 25 feet from the property line of the proposed development. Yet my husband and I, including others, we were banned from signing or circulating the referendum to challenge the city. A lot of us are very frustrated with the fact that with us being right outside of the city limits, we have no say in electing city council members, who ultimately made the final decision on this project. So we're kind of left without representation regarding the outcome. In addition to Bristol Park, the proposed development borders the Cooper Estates subdivision, which is located in city limits, while the nearby Winsome, Wild Horse, and Pearson Meadows subdivision, among others, are not. While the City Council approved the rezoning on an 8-1 with only Councilmember Craig Hosmer opposed, some of the council members voted in favor of expressed concerns about the project's location, including Councilmember Brandon Jensen. With each of these major developments that we're approving on the periphery of town, we are signaling to the developing community that they should continue to prioritize investing in outward growth rather than desensification within our city, Jensen said at the November 3rd meeting. The Planning and Zoning Commission initially recommended denial of the rezoning request, but later recommended approval of a revised proposal that reduced the number of overall units to 20 by 20 and limited the height of an apartment building to 3 stories. In addition, the revised proposal contained more defined traffic improvements to the surrounding roadways, including paths for a traffic signal at the intersection of Division and LeCompte Road, and eliminating a proposed connection to Danvers Road, which currently terminates at the south property line in Bristol Park. Despite the changes, neighbors remain concerned about variable aspects of the proposed development. While some residents have indicated they are not inherently opposed to the development of the property, they feel that the density of the project is not compatible with the surrounding single-family neighborhoods, and that the increased traffic will exacerbate existing congestion on Division. Residents have also cited concerns with potential sinkholes in the property and development's ties to a California company. Springfield City staff recommended approval on both iterations for the rezoning application. In the Development Review staff report, the city points to the stepping-down approach used to transition between single-family homes and higher-density residential uses and the need for missing middle housing. An umbrella term can be used to describe the various housing types that fit between single-family homes and mid-rise apartments. Jack McGee is the government affairs reporter at the Springfield Daily Citizen. He previously covered politics and business for the Daily Citizen. He is an MSU graduate with a Bachelor of Science degree in journalism and a minor political science. Reach him at jmcgee@sgfcitizen.org or 417-837-3663.
From the Springfield Daily Citizen, Greene County residents face loss of benefits and rising health care costs by Kathleen Odell. In depth. In his 40 years as an insurance advisor, Michael DeFontis says he's never witnessed a more distressing health plan enrollment season. The crying is the hardest part to watch. The first bad news surfaced when Cox Health officials announced in October that Cox Health Plans will no longer offer its health insurance marketplace plan to Greene and Webster County residents in 2026. It means some 4,300 Cox Health Plan members in Greene and Webster will lose the only marketplace plan providing them access to their Cox primary care doctors, specialists, and hospitals. Cox also severed ties with Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield's marketplace plan, Anthem Pathways. To take advantage of the marketplace offerings, Greene and Webster residents must switch to one of 4 plans accepted at Mercy Hospital Springfield before enrollment ends December 31st. A Mercy spokesperson said Mercy can accommodate the new patients. The Affordable Health Care Act, ACA, of 2010 created the health insurance marketplace on healthcare.gov, where individuals and small businesses could shop for federally subsidized health plans. They could also apply for income-based tax subsidies, which were later enhanced during the COVID-19 pandemic to help lower their cost, but are now expected to expire on December 31st. More than 417,000 Missourians in 2025 were covered by ACA marketplace plans, a 62% increase over 2023 as people lost Medicaid coverage and shifted to the subsidized marketplace, according to Washington University's Center for Advancing Health Services Policies and Economic Research. County-level enrollment numbers are not readily available. In announcing the change in its plan, Cox officials cited a significant disruption in healthcare, saying that financial dynamics beyond our control forced Cox Health into a difficult position with Greene and Webster counties. Echoing alarms raised by state and national analysts about steeper prices coming, Cox officials noted that insurance providers everywhere are assessing their plans in light of rising medical costs and volatility in the market. New data released in October by the Missouri Department of Commerce and Insurance shows healthcare premiums will rise an average of 30% in 2026. This year has been a challenging one for health insurance industry nationwide, with new federal rules and ongoing litigation creating uncertainty for insurers and consumers alike, state officials said. We recognize the impact this change may create for a number of our neighbors, Cox officials said, and will work toward solutions for 2027 coverage. They noted that Greene and Webster policyholders have non-marketplace options such as short-term plans, employer-sponsored plans, and the Springfield Area Chamber of Commerce small group plans and more. Says Bobby Venable, who at 64 is one of those losing her affordable marketplace plan. I would love to have the Cox decision makers to sit in an oncology waiting room and just see those people and say, guess what? December 31st, you have to go somewhere else. Meanwhile, residents of Berry, Christian, Lawrence, Stone, and Taney counties can keep their marketplace Cox Health plan and their doctors, but it's not all good news for them either. Cox Health plans will impose a substantial average increase of 30.4% on its 2026 health insurance plans offered both on and off the marketplace, with a maximum of 38% and a minimum of 23.18%, according to data from the Missouri Department of Commerce and Insurance. If the expanded tax subsidies expire as expected, premiums per member per month could jump from $663.36 in 2025 to $841.07 after January 1st for a reported 9,345 enrollees in those 5 counties. State data also show increases in 2026 plans accepted at Mercy Springfield Hospital and other health systems. It's very emotional. DeFontis nods towards an empty chair opposite his desk where, one by one, clients have sat and shared their miseries since the enrollment period began November the 1st. I've had 4 different people now crying with me because they can't get a plan that allows them to go to their doctor, some with pretty horrific health issues. People want to continue care with their established cardiologist, endocrinologist, rheumatologist, DeFontis says, or they're testing right now for something and they're in the middle of a diagnosis. There are a lot of diabetics and they have to go see their doctor a lot of times every 3 and 6 months to have labs run. It's important for them to stay on treatment. He compares the upheaval his clients are experiencing to a divorce. It's very emotional to them. One client had hip replacement surgery scheduled in February at Cox before he learned his marketplace coverage there ends December 31st. He's hoping there's a last-minute miracle and there will be a plan for him that allows him to use his Cox doctor and his surgeon, DeFontis says. Then there's this. One client with property in Christian County was thinking of changing his address, DeFontis said half in jest, so he can have a Christian County address. Rhonda Long, an agent broker for nearly 10 years, says her clients have expressed disappointment, disbelief, and frustration. It's been very difficult for Greene and Webster County residents to understand how their neighbors in Christian County or Polk County can still have a 2026 Cox health plan, yet they cannot. As brokers, it's disheartening to see our clients with such limited options for network providers, she adds. We are blessed with two exceptional healthcare systems here in Southwest Missouri, and it's a shame that all our residents do not have ongoing access to both systems for their healthcare needs. A double whammy. Many of their clients were already bracing for those higher costs coming January 1st. People are very upset, DeFontis said. People are crying because their premiums have gone up 2 and 3 times what they were paying. U.S. industry watchers, including KFF, formerly the Kaiser Family Foundation, predict a 26% increase in monthly premiums on the ACA marketplace due to increased demand and uncertainty about the future of the enhanced federal tax subsidies. KFF further estimates that if those expire, subsidized insurance enrollees will see monthly premiums more than double. Contentious debate in Congress over extending those subsidies as part of a funding bill led to the 43-day government shutdown last fall. The New York Times reported Thursday, December 11th, that the Senate failed to advance either a Democratic or Republican health care proposal, making it all but certain that the expanded Affordable Health Care Act subsidies will expire on December 31st, leading to lower subsidies and fewer people who qualify. Alyssa Coonrod, a longtime nurse in public health, worries that the health insurance rates and loss of expanded tax subsidies will cause the financially fragile clients she serves to drop theirs and their family's health coverage. She is a medical volunteer at One Door in Springfield, which provides housing and shelter intakes and referrals for homeless individuals. I'm worried about my community, she says. A December KFF poll found that 1 in 4 Americans in the marketplace said they would very likely cancel their health insurance if premiums double because Congress fails to extend them in 2026. I've been actively calling my elected officials and reminding them, I'm a nurse. I've seen this for many, many years, and what is going to happen is people will go without coverage and they will die. As a Greene County resident herself, Coonrod is sorry to lose her marketplace access to Cox on December 31st. Her monthly premium was $922 a month, but her tax subsidy dropped it to $339 a month in 2025. She was aghast when the Marketplace Exchange automatically enrolled her in an Ambetter plan, honored at Mercy, and sent her an invoice for the first monthly premium of $1,136. Uncertain about future subsidies, she signed up for short-term private insurance to carry her through April when she goes on Medicare. She gets to keep her Cox physicians in 2026, and though her new monthly premium is over $500, she says it's a lot better than $1,136. With the December 15th enrollment deadline looming for coverage on January 1st, or January 15th for coverage beginning February 1st, Greene and Webster residents are finding other options. Bobby Venables' monthly premium was $219 without a subsidy, with a $7,500 annual deductible. The Greene County 64-year-old has had her share of surgeries, 2 hip and 2 knee replacements, an individual plan off or not offered on the marketplace with Cox would have cost over $548 in monthly premiums. Instead, she enrolled in a marketplace plan with access to Mercy for $280 a month and a $10,000 annual deductible, and I just pray I don't have to use it, she said. Until Venable qualifies for Medicare in August and returns to Cox, she says she'll postpone checkups, get her prescriptions for the year filled in advance, and hopefully nothing bad happens. Journalist Jan Peterson has gone to Cox Health for 30 years, but Cox no longer accepts her marketplace plan with Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield. That monthly premium was $937. Her annual income at the time qualified her for a modest subsidy of only about $100. That same Anthem Gold plan in 2026 would cost her $1,369 a month, she said. Because her job writing for federal publications ended in August, she has enrolled in a Medica Bronze plan on the marketplace with access to Mercy and a $993.10 monthly premium. If Congress extends the so-called enriched subsidies, she qualifies for a $654 tax credit thanks to my recent job loss, lowering her monthly premium to $339.10. If they expire and she doesn't qualify when the subsidies revert to lower, pre-COVID levels, she'll be responsible for her monthly premium of $993.10 with Medica. The subsidies are based on the projected annual income that enrollees report to the government when they apply. If they are extended beyond December 31st and Peterson's fortune changes with a good job contract in 2026, I will get hit with a tax bill, she says. I feel like I'm doomed either way. And yes, I'm sure I will have to pay back the subsidy in January if credits aren't extended. She says, I told my husband Greg to brace for $654 subsidy bill in January. A word to the wise, residents getting a marketplace plan such as Ambetter or Medica directing them to Mercy and expecting to pay out of pocket to see their favorite Cox doctor will be in for a disappointment. Cox spokesman Randy Berger said marketplace plans do not offer out-of-network benefits, so those patients would be responsible for 100% of costs at Cox. People in special cases, such as pregnancy and oncology care, can contact their insurance carriers to discuss transition care options, he said. While taking a break recently in his Springfield office between clients, DeFontis pulls a legal pad from his desktop. The page is filled with single-spaced with the names of some 30 clients who were still in decision limbo a week before the December 15th enrollment deadline. There's all the people that are either on Cox Health plans or Anthem and that are waiting to see if something changes before they make a final decision, he said. Some are hoping for a miracle, he adds, a change of heart at Cox or a congressional vote to extend the subsidies. I just blocked out the last day of open enrollment to call everybody to say, here's where we're at, what are we going to do? That's going to be a really hard day. Kathleen Odell is a veteran journalist who has covered healthcare, business, education, and investigative pieces throughout her career. She's a St. Louis native and a graduate of the University of Missouri School of Journalism. In addition to working for a Texas newspaper, she was on the staff of USA Today, Washington, D.C., and spent most of her newspaper career at the Springfield News-Leader.
This article comes from the Springfield Daily Citizen. Nix's Jackson Cantwell named Gatorade National Football Player of the Year. Former NFL offensive tackle Joe Thomas came to Nixa to surprise Cantwell with the award. Senior offensive lineman Jackson Cantwell picked up one of the more prestigious honor in his final weeks as a Nixa Eagle. On Wednesday, Cantwell was named the Gatorade National Football Player of the Year. Past winners of the award include Peyton Manning, 1994, Emmitt Smith, 1987, and Kyler Murray, 2015. Cantwell, who helped lead Nixa to the Class 6 state championship game in each of the past 2 seasons, will enroll at the University of Miami in the spring to begin his collegiate career. At Nixa High School on Wednesday, Cantwell was surprised by a former Cleveland Browns offensive tackle, Joe Thomas. The 6'8", 350-pound Cantwell was the nation's top-ranked offensive line recruit in the class of 2026, in addition to being one of the best high school shot put throwers ever. Jackson is the top offensive line prospect to come out of the last several recruiting cycles, said Stephen Wilfong, VP of recruiting for 247 Sports, in a news release. He brings a terrific blend of size, power, and athleticism along with a high football IQ. It's easy to see why he was so heavily coveted by the nation's top programs, and he should be an immediate difference maker for Miami. Jackson's an explosive player in the line of scrimmage who the Hurricanes are going to be able to run behind for years to come. In addition to his athletic achievements, Cantwell is also recognized for his academics, maintaining a 4.0 GPA, and his work in the community, volunteering with least of these food pantry and serving as a peer tutor and youth track coach. There is such incredible talent among the nearly 1 million student athletes across the country who compete in high school football, paired with the criteria of being outstanding on and off the field, Jennifer Schmidt, Senior Director with Gatorade Brand Marketing, said in a news release. It's a testament to Jackson's hard work and achievements that he has stood out amongst the competition against the whole nation. After learning he won the award, Cantwell participated in a professional photo shoot at the high school. The other finalists for the award were senior linebacker Taylor Atkinson from Loganville, Georgia, who is committed to the University of Texas, and Landon Williams Callis, a junior running back from Richmond, Texas, who averaged 211.5 rushing yards per game this season. In handing Cantwell the award on Wednesday, Thomas said he was the first offensive lineman to ever win it.
All right, one more story from OzarksFirst.com, color 10. Missouri bill would replace high school activities body with a governor-appointed board, from Jefferson City, Missouri. A Missouri lawmaker has filed legislation that would replace the Missouri State High School Activities Association, or MISHA, with a new board appointed by the governor. Senate Bill 863, pre-filed earlier this month by Republican State Senator Jason Bean, would shift power from MISHA to a board of directors who would oversee and facilitate any statewide association that facilitates interscholastic activities for secondary school students. Recently, MISHA has found itself entangled in controversies, which isn't that unusual for an organization that oversees extracurricular activities for more than 300,000 students from over 700 schools from all corners of the state. Still, there was a mishap surrounding high school soccer rules last month and an investigation by Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway over alleged claims of discrimination. MISHA had already been on lawmakers' minds after passing a measure this year that forced the organization to allow non-traditional students, like homeschoolers, the ability to compete in MISHA-sanctioned activities. That measure, which had been opposed by MISHA going back to 2019, went into effect this summer. The executive director of the organization told Fox 2 in October that hundreds of newly eligible students were now participating in MISHA activities. MISHA declined a request for an on-camera interview this week, but Dr. Jennifer Rookstad provided a statement. MISHA is seeking to learn more about this pre-filed bill and, as always, is interested in listening to the concerns of lawmakers, Rookstad said. We hope to work together to achieve solutions. Lawmakers will gavel in 2026 session on January 7th in Jefferson City.
This article comes from the Springfield Daily Citizen. Lyndall Scranton. Ryan Beard's departure is improbable feat and testament to growth of MSU football. Beard was young, smart, energetic, charismatic, and knowledgeable about football. When you aspire to play big boy football, you can't be surprised to see talented people moving up. Congratulations to Ryan Beard. After accomplishing the improbable feat of leading Missouri State to 7 victories in the school's first football bowl subdivision season, he did something once deemed impossible. For the first time ever, maybe, Missouri State had a football coach that a more established school wanted to hire as its own head coach. It happened on December 11th when Beard accepted an offer to lead Coastal Carolina of the Sun Belt Conference. While it is disappointing that Beard, after a short but historic 3-season run at Missouri State, is off to a new challenge, it is not surprising, and that's exactly what those who want Bears football to flourish should want. 3 years from now, if Beard's successor is hired away, that means the program has continued to improve. Instead of being offended that Beard decided to leave, fans can view it as a compliment that a program that has been in 6 straight bowl games with resources and fan support that dwarf Missouri State wanted a guy with a short track record. The nature of the college football calendar, of course, is what makes this all stink to high heaven. The Bears have their first FBS bowl game December 18th against Arkansas State in Frisco, Texas. Due to the need to immediately recruit, the urgency of the transfer portal, and meet his new players, Beard and perhaps several members of his staff won't be on the sideline at the X-Bowl. Those of us who have covered Beard during this time in Springfield could tell right away that the guy was a star in the making. Young, smart, energetic, charismatic, and knowledgeable about football. Beard was clearly the total package, and he, along with his staff, worked wonders in the transition to FBS. When Beard's father-in-law, Bobby Petterino, departed after the 2022 season to become offensive coordinator for UNLV, Beard was the logical choice for the promotion from defensive coordinator. The Bears were 4-7 in Beard's first season as the boss, but bid farewell to the FCS with a blazing 8-4 record in 2024. The first FBS season and entry into the Conference USA figured to be a surprise for anything above 3 or 4 victories. They flew past that by mid-October. The immediate reaction of Beard's departure on social media was predictably emotional, with some fans blaming Beard for taking the money and others blaming the school for not stepping up to match the monetary offer. But what was Director of Athletics Patrick Ranson to do? Rob a bank? Snap his fingers and make money grow on a tree nearest Plaster Stadium? If booster money isn't there, it isn't there. I'm pretty sure the majority of folks reading this would snap at an opportunity to double their salary and move to a place with a bigger, better stadium, larger budget, excellent fan support, and facilities that aren't stuck in the 1980s. Beard and wife Katie have 4 young children. What dad doesn't aspire to make for a better life for his kids and wife? When Missouri State stepped up to the FBS level this season, it brought economic challenges and probably always will. This season has been one of the great stories of the local sports history, but the Bears are early in the development of infrastructure and raising the needed cash to make success sustainable. Most of us who enjoyed the newfound success of Missouri State football had hoped Beard would stick around another year or two to help facilitate that build. But that didn't happen, and when you aspire to play big boy football, you can't be surprised. Coaches have left schools like Ole Miss, Iowa State, Memphis, James Madison, South Florida, and North Texas for more attractive job offers. It happens. Beard likely aspires to one day lead a Power 4 conference program. A direct jump from Missouri State to such a place wasn't going to happen any more than flying from Springfield straight to New York City. There was going to be an intermediate career stop somewhere for Beard, and the coastal Carolina could be this. During his final meeting with local media after the Bears' regular season finale on November 29th, Beard was asked about the possibilities of a contract extension or interest from other schools. How long's it been since Missouri State head coach was even wanted by anyone else, Beard said. That's the tip of our hat to our players. Everything we achieve is our players. I wish Beard nothing but the best in his future, just as I wish lots of luck to Athletic Director Patrick Randallson in finding the next man up to lead Missouri State's program. It will be the AD's first major coaching hire since arriving in a little over a year ago, and it will be fascinating to watch. Lyndall Scranton is a Springfield native who has covered sports in the Ozarks for more than 35 years. Witnessing nearly every big sports moment in the region during the last 50 years. The Missouri Sports Hall of Famer, Springfield Area Sports Hall of Famer, and live fire cooking enthusiast also serves as PR director for Lucas Oil Speedway in Wheatland, Missouri, and is co-host of the Tailgate Guys BBQ podcast. Contact him at lscranton755@gmail.com. and follow him on Twitter at Lyndall Scranton.
All right, this story actually comes from the Springfield News-Leader, but it has gone viral, as they say, along. This article was originally posted to the USA Today, and other national news sources has picked it up. Why a viral TV anchor who reads hate comments doesn't plan on stopping. Carissa Codell has been called a lot of nasty things by viewers in the Missouri news show she anchors, but she's found a hilarious way to clap back. The 26-year-old reporter, who appears on the morning show Ozarks First for Kohler 10 and Fox 49 in Springfield and Branson, Missouri, began reading rude online comments about her appearance on camera and posting them to social media earlier this year. At the time, she was just hoping to bolster her online presence by showing her personality. She had no idea the videos would gain millions of views from all over the world and resonate with so many others. I kind of brainstormed with my team here, and we were like, well, let's do it in the news voice. Let's put it in the studio. Let's produce it up a little bit, Codell told USA Today. And somehow that has just taken off. It's still wild to me. In the videos, Codell is seen standing in front of a monitor that projects the comments as she reads them in her so-called news anchor voice. At times, her co-workers will quip in the background, or Codell will break character to joke about the responses. Codell said she intentionally chose to approach the comments with humor rather than to return the hostility. It's whatever you put out there is what you're going to get back, and that is kind of the approach I wanted to take, she said, adding that she finds some of the creative insults funny. She continued to share the videos on social media, and others have embraced the series, she said. For the most part, the tone has been very supportive and very upbeat. It feels like a back-and-forth type of roast situation where it doesn't feel malicious, Codell said. Now, there are still plenty of comments that are genuinely hurtful or mean, but you just have to let those roll off your shoulders, and I don't really focus too much on them. Hateful online comments about journalists is widespread, and it's not new. While the comments that Codell highlights are more or so based on her physical appearance, some journalists face physical threats against them, said Tracy Everbach, a journalism professor at the University of North Texas. Codell was reading those comments and calling those people out for making fun of her weight or her appearance, but I do think that it doesn't address the fact that there are really, really horrible threats that women get, Everbach said. Jake Nelson, an associate professor of communication at the University of Utah, who researches the connection between journalists and their audience, said there isn't a tried and true way for reporters like Codell to effectively manage online hate. There's just something about this social media environment where you are not thinking at all, really, about who's on the receiving end of whatever it is that you say, Nelson said. And that's even more exaggerated when it comes to journalists. They're not thinking about the journalist like a human being. But despite the mean-spirited nature of some of the comments, Codell said she has learned to brush off the things that are said about her. It can definitely be hard to compartmentalize a little bit, but once you get to that point, it's truly mind-blowing how little you'll think about these horrible comments that are left about you, she said. I wish I had the answer for how to just do that and practice that, but it just happens. Nelson also said that taking a humorous approach likely helps to diffuse the comments. Because it's funny, people will be like, here's the person who seems like a genuinely real person and she's making light of something terrible that's happening to her on a daily basis, and I appreciate that. So I think there's something winning about that approach, Nelson said. Being in on the joke has helped Codell manage the responses, but so has having thick skin. They've never really hurt my feelings. I know what I look like and I know who I am, and for me to have that combination I think has helped. I've always had very thick skin, she said. Using humor to cope, especially with negative situations, is not uncommon. Humor is associated with improving communication, reducing stress and anxiety, and it can relieve tension, even improve recovery in general if you have experienced something negative. T.M. Robinson Mosley, a counseling psychologist, previously told USA Today. Aside from forming what Codell calls a little corner on the internet of just pure fun, she's found her videos are helping others too, especially young girls. Codell said she often gets messages from parents saying their daughter is struggling with body image and her videos have helped them cope. I almost cry every time I see a comment like this, Codell said. That was not necessarily the goal, but I'm so glad that it is happening. It makes my heart happy to hear those. Melissa Kahn is a national trending reporter for USA Today. She can be reached at melina.khan@usatoday.com.
This comes to us from the Springfield Daily Citizen. Jeff Kessinger. The Kilties to lead Springfield's Wrapped in Plaid Christmas Parade. Central High School's all-girl Scottish Drum and Bugle Corps marks its 100th anniversary with a whirlwind season of holiday parades and the honor of serving as Grand Marshals. Think your holiday calendar is loaded? Try being a Kiltie during the Christmas parade season. It's crazy. It's exhausting, said Alyssa Kurth. The Central High School senior is in her third year as a Kiltie, serving as an assistant majorette and tenor captain. We just had 7 parades over like 5 days. We had a 2-day break and then we're back at it. We had a parade on Friday, 3 parades on Saturday, and then 1 on Sunday. From November 22nd through December 7th, the all-girl Scottish Drum and Bugle Corps performed at 9 Christmas parades and the Festival of Trees at the Shrine Mosque. That includes parades in Rolla, Urbana, and Bolivar on December 6th alone. The traditional Scottish Drum and Bugle Corps will wrap up the Christmas parade season with 2 parades in 1 day, of course, on December 13th. That includes serving as Grand Marshals in the annual Springfield Christmas Parade at 2 p.m. The theme is Wrapped in Plaid. It's stressful. We're usually never first in anything, said Malia Johnson. The 4-year Kiltie is the group's majorette. We're usually towards the back of the parade. It's actually a great honor that we are first this year for our 100th anniversary, and are going to have tons of alumni behind us cheering us on, being with us for this amazing moment. Central Kilties were founded in 1926 by Springfield music man, Scotland native, Dr. R. Ritchie Robertson. He also founded the city's Boy Scout band, the largest such band in the world. Worried that there were no constructive groups for high school aged girls, Springfield's public music director drew on his Scottish heritage to form the first all-girl drum and bugle corps in the United States. The Kilties made their first public appearance at a Rotary convention in Springfield that same year and have been marching ever since for the Ozarks and beyond. Highlights include the 1989 inaugural parade for President George H.W. Bush in Washington, D.C., and in 2003, London New Year's Day parade in front of Queen Elizabeth II and the rest of the royal family. That's not just any plaid the Kilties wear. It's the Royal Stuart plaid, the personal tartan of the British monarch. The tartan was picked out by Robertson on a trip back to his homeland. Since 1926, the Kilties have incorporated the Scottish traditions into their uniforms, instruments, parade march, and dance routines. Once a Kiltie, always a Kiltie is one of the group's mottos. Beyond performances, the organization creates a family atmosphere that is very meaningful to its members. The family within the Corps is probably the biggest thing for me, said Kurth. These people I probably never would have talked to if I hadn't joined the Kilties. And now some of these people are my best friends. They are really the only people I talk to because we're with them so often, so I form so many great friendships. Added Johnson, when they say it's a sisterhood, they really mean it. One week, we all hate each other, and the next, we're all taking pictures and we're laughing. Throughout your years, you never really meet the best of people, and the diversity here is very different. Never in a million years would I think that I would be friends with some of the people on the Corps, but they are generally so amazing. It's also about the helping the community outside the Kilties. We go everywhere and we explore. We were just talking about doing cross lines this month to help out people in need. Kilties gets you there and helps you be more part of your community. This year's parade is Wrapped in Plaid. Wrapped in Plaid has been in the works for nearly a year after Downtown Springfield Association events manager Marilyn Glorfeld noticed the Kilties were coming up on the big anniversary. Last year, when I was writing the script for the parade, I saw that the Kilties were celebrating their 99th year, she said. And so I talked to my coworkers and said, hey, what if we honored the Kilties next year, because 100 years is incredible and the Kilties are such an iconic Springfield tradition. We talked to the Kilties sponsor just after the new year, and we've been planning it ever since. The Kilties will fulfill their Grand Marshal duties by leading the parade, with this year's performing group first and alumni following. There's going to be, I think, 3 vehicles with all of the different Kilties, Glorfeld said. Then there's going to be a truck with a trailer and actual float with some Kilties on that. Behind that, depending on the weather, there's going to be some Kilties from the 1940s. They're in their 90s, so if it's too cold, they may not be there. But we're planning on having Kilties from the 40s there. That's really exciting. And a little nerve-wracking for the current Kilties. The Corps has changed over the past 100 years, Johnson said. We've added new songs, we've taken away dances, the way we march is different, the way we play, the cadence is different. There's a lot of pressure performing in front of alumni. There are going to be alumni there that haven't seen the Corps for a long time, and we're going to be sure we're doing everything right. Well, Kurth, like Johnson, is nervous about performing in front of all those alumni. She's thrilled the Kilties are being honored in this way. It's really exciting, she said. Just the thought of a 100-year-old Corps getting its spotlight this year. That's really exciting. We're getting to the recognition we deserve for all the hard work that we put in. The Salvation Army gets holiday funding goals. This is from the SBJ. The Salvation Army of Springfield has set fundraising goals for 2 holiday campaigns in hopes of bringing in more money than last year for the faith-based poverty relief organization. The nonprofit's local chapter this year has a goal of raising $225,000 through its Red Kettle initiative and $923,000 for its full Christmas campaign, according to the news release. The Red Kettle figure, though which donations are taken via the nonprofit signature Red Kettles, is included within the total Christmas fundraising goal. Every dollar given through the Red Kettle Company helps us meet the growing needs of our community throughout the year, said Holly Ellis, Development Director of the Salvation Army of Springfield, in the release. We are honored to serve our neighbors. With all the community's help, we can continue to make a positive impact on the lives of those who need it most. Ellis said that via email, the 2024 Red Kettle Initiative brought in $166,698 of its $250,000 goal, and the larger Christmas campaign recorded $774,000 of its $925,000 goal. Funds raised are used for the Salvation Army's mission of providing essential services, emergency assistance, and programs to individuals and families in the Ozarks, according to the release. This year's holiday campaign come as the Salvation Army Springfield is building a new $12 million Harbor House men's shelter that will replace an 85-year-old building in downtown Springfield. Officials broke ground on the shelter located at the Springfield's chapter main facility at 1707 West Chestnut Expressway in October, according to past reporting. The nearly 20,000 square foot Harbor House, slated for completion in late 2026 or early 27, is part of the nonprofit's chapter's $20 million Lives Transformed campaign capital.
Thank you for listening to the Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service. Tune in every week, Monday through Friday, on the Blind Community Thrift Store's YouTube channel at 10 a.m. for more up-to-date news from the Springfield News-Leader, Springfield Daily Citizen, Springfield Business Journal, and 417 Magazine. Listen after we are live on the Audio Reader Network at www.reader.com ksmu.ku.edu. All broadcasts are played over KSMU's subcarrier airwaves at 67 kilohertz on 91.1 from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Contact the Audio Reader Network for information on receiving a pre-programmed radio.